Afternoon, everyone. So now that we are in wishing mode, I do wish the digestible pill comes in tracks. I do wish that it is both in a pill and in Coca-Cola, but I do wish our guests pick it up from Target, right? So I'll start with that. Thank you, panelists. So as we talk about the Target story and the implementation of analytics or the application of analytics in a retail, I'll take a moment or two to talk about our company, Target, the company that I represent. So as many of you would know, we are a retailer in North America. We've been in the United States of America for more than 50 years now, in more than about 1,800 stores, in addition to mobile and online platforms where we have e-commerce and guest engagement. Recently, earlier this year, we've launched into Canada, our first international expansion. We have 50 stores now and are on way to 125 stores. And it's important that I set that context in the as we talk about the analytics, or as we call it within Target, enterprise business intelligence. So as we open the hood and look at, okay, what does analytics look like in a retailer like Target? A lot of it is about engaging our guests. So that way, a lot of analytics that we do is very similar to what any marketing organization or marketing arm of an organization would do. Understanding guest engagement, guest propensity, segmentation, and the like. But we also engender enduring guest loyalty through our rewards program, through payment vehicles like debit cards and credit cards. While our focus is on engendering guest loyalty over the long haul, it also means that from an analytics standpoint, we do risk analytics, credit card and transactional fraud risk analytics within our teams. The core of who we are as a retailer is, of course, ensuring our merchandise functions happen, that we call it buy, move, sell. We have the right merchandise at the right time at the right price for our guest, right? Which means understanding guest preferences for various products, price elasticity within various products. How do we place the products both in digital and brick and mortar stores of ours? And then how do we optimize each of our sales channels? Again, be it the brick and mortar stores or digital channels. If you look at digital channel optimization, a lot of our analytics focus is very similar to what you'd find in any e-commerce platform. Is our site available? What are the conversion metrics? What kind of cross-sell do we do? What kind of digital marketing can we enable? Very similar. So you look at our stores channel, it would be very similar to any office presence. Are we using our real estate presence very well? Is our energy consumption the optimal as it can be? So a lot of questions that we answer in the stores channel are towards that end. We also have a lot of our team members in the EBI world focused on internal corporate efficiency. As I mentioned, real estate analytics, both energy consumption and also real estate return of investment is a huge part of what our property development teams do. We're investing a lot in technology, so technology, return of investment, and technology-related analytics, like the functional point example that we heard earlier in the morning, is part of our analytical umbrella as well. And lastly, an example that I'll touch upon is assets protection, right? So we source from all over the world. We have 2 headquarters locations that we say, one in Minneapolis, our primary headquarters, another in Bangalore. We have 360,000 team members at any point in time. As a $70 billion enterprise, we have lots of merchandise all over the globe. So one of the focuses that we have is ensuring that the assets that we have, team member and merchandise and our factories, and our buildings, I should say, are protected. There was a question earlier this morning about, with all this big data analytics, can we divine intelligence on what's going to happen when it comes to protecting, right? The connotation used was terrorist attack, not quite that far.